Hello everybody, thank you for stopping by today. What we're going to discuss here is, should Hawaii require labeling on all GMO agriculture and food imports? Now this is something that I find an interest in because when I was growing up, I grew up on a organic farm. My grandfather had put in a 2+ acre organic farm, so we ate everything organic from the garden. During the summer, we ate the fresh organic produce. My grandmother and mother then canned the produce from the summer so that we could eat it all the way through the winter time. So that was a big help, so it's something I'm interested in. Well, first off, I put together a little slideshow here, and this is basically my outline, kind of what we're going to go over this afternoon. What we're going to talk about is, first off, just what are GMOs? Then also, why is this of importance to you? Why should you individually matter or care about? Why should it matter to you? I want to discuss what are the health risks? Are GMOs legal in other countries? Who benefits from GMOs? With the GMOs, who gets something out of them? And finally, should GMOs be labeled? So first off is, what are GMOs? Well, a GMO is short for genetically modified organisms. Basically what they do is they take a gene from one plant, out of the DNA structure of one plant, animal, or even bacteriums, insert it into the genetic chain of another plant or animal organism. And the goal of that is to take some characteristics from the one that was extracted from to insert into the one that they're getting. So this is very different than crossbreeding. What we've done for thousands of years, humans have done, is called crossbreeding. And with it, we can take a goat and you can breed it to a different breed of a goat, and eventually you can come up with a different breed of goats. But what GMO does is not that, because you can't take a goat and breed it with a fish, or a tomato and breed it with chicken. That doesn't work. So it's not the same as crossbreeding. But now, why would this be important to you? Why would it matter? Well, there are health risks involved. Studies are now currently showing that it is not safe, that there are downsides and health issues with it. Another thing is, it's completely unregulated. There is no government or scientific body that oversees what's being done and regulates it in any way. Another one is, there are no long-term studies of what the long-term effects are. They're unknown. The environmental impact has proven to be negative. There's getting more and more studies to show that. And one other thing is, it's become very, very prevalent in the United States, where most of our foods are now genetically engineered. In 2010, you can see here, the Department of Agriculture did a survey, and they found that as much as 86% of all the corn grown in the United States, 90% of all soybeans, and nearly 93% of all cotton grown in the U.S. were of GMO varieties. In the United States, GMOs have the potential to affect virtually every single one of us currently. So what are some of the risks? What is the problem with it as far as that? Well, when they change things on a genetic level, they only have, as the scientists themselves state, that they only have a crude understanding at best of how it works and what is dangerous and what is not. And there's no way to predict all of the consequences when they make these changes. They don't know what, down the stream of time, things will change and what consequences will be. Another one that a lot of scientists are concerned about is, they said there's potential that some of these negative consequences that come up will become irreversible. It's a little bit like opening Pandora's box. Once it happens, they don't know how they can undo the problem. And they take bacterium, literally of a bacteria, like a mold or a fungus, and they injected the gene from that into the DNA structure of plants that you and we eat. So that's something that we want to have a say in. Many other countries in the world have banned or partially banned GMOs. Matter of fact, as of October 2013, GMOs are partially or totally banned in at least 26 countries. Some of those including Australia, Austria, Bulgaria, China, India, Italy, France, Germany, Mexico, Russia, Switzerland, and even more. So these countries are realizing this is not a good thing for the people. So if we have some of these negatives, what's the reason? Why are we going to the GMOs? What's the upside? Who benefits from GMOs? Well, over 90% of all GMO seeds and technology are owned and controlled by a handful, literally, of companies, but that is for the worldwide market. So now these companies are getting rich, but at what risk to the consumers? That would be you and I. And what do the consumers gain? What's the upside for them or the farmers? What do they benefit? There is none. We don't see lower prices on foods at the store. Farmers are finding out that it was promised that they would have lower costs in growing the plants, they would have bigger yields, they would make more money, have a better profit margin, have more stability in the production of the crops. That's not turning out to be true. It's actually turning out to be the opposite. So if there is no potential negative effects, why would the GMO companies fight labeling foods as GMO foods? They literally spend hundreds of millions of dollars every year to lobby and to prevent it from being said that this has GMO food. They convince the FDA, they are maintaining that it's just the same, even though they have changed the genetic makeup of the given food product. So as a consumer, do you want and do you feel you deserve to simply just know what you're consuming? Not asking a lot, we just want to know. And we have a right to make a choice whether we buy that and consume GMO food or not. It's just a free choice. So in a summary, genetically engineered organisms, or GMO, are crossing barriers that in nature can't be crossed. There's a reason for that. Again, that's why we can't take a fish and cross it with a tomato, or a cow and cross it with a chicken. Nature has made sure that doesn't happen. There's reasons for that. The other thing is the potential negative long-term effects are not known, and the negative effects may even be irreversible. It just isn't known. So do we want to take that chance? So we all win if GMOs are labeled. We live in a free country. We should have the right to choose, wouldn't you say, what we consume. We have the choice of, if it has GMOs, whether we buy that or not. It's just a simple choice. So yes, I firmly do believe that Hawaii should require labeling on all GMO agriculture and food imports. We can have an effect on this. Just if we all let people know, mention it, friends, family, let them know that this is happening. So if we all take a stand and say this is enough, maybe we be able to get that choice back on what we consume in our own food. Thanks for stopping.